the fact that I'm willing to put myself out there and grind my balls off every single day and do what other people are not willing to do
Yeah.
is allowing me to, have that level of impact on people, completely change the trajectory of somebody's life,
Is,
So
is
that's what I really like, whether it's a client or a team member.
is that your biggest client success story? Or if it's not, what
Mm.
is it?
Depends who you ask, bro. We, I've helped people go from scratch to making, 30,000 a month working in a facility.
Yeah.
I've actually, one of my clients, I took their last dollar on a payment plan, right? They split it, and then they called their boyfriend after and asked them for money for groceries for the week. And when they joined, I was like, yo, if you want to make money ASAP, this is what you got to do. But you gotta listen to me. I'm like, you got to trust me. This is going to work. It's going to be different than anything you've ever done before, but it's going to work. And I promise you that if you do it, you will not regret it. And I think like in the first 30 days, it made like 17K.
Wow.
And now they do like 10 to 20K a month, hiring team members, like all that stuff. Dead broke.
How is it that easy though? Because we're in a day and age where there's a lot of social media gurus that go out there and they say, buy my course, you can make 10,000 a month ASAP. Like it's going to happen. And do you really believe that? Probably not. But you tell me a story like that, and it makes it seem like any single person out there in the world with coaching ability and drive can make a living online. How is it that easy?
Yeah.
Or is it that easy?
I would say that if you want to make money fast in the online space, you need to have a background in it, some way, shape, or form. Not just in sports, but in the online world in general,
Okay.
right? You need to have a background in it because online is way different than in person, at least in the sports realm, in terms of like the way that you acquire customers and things like that. So if you're looking for a quick fix, unless you have an existing audience already that you've never launched this specific offer to, then it's probably going to take you a little bit of time. And by time, I mean probably, 4, 6, 12 months, just depending on your starting point.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily easy, but the hard part is the mindset that it takes in order to make it happen because the actions themselves are pretty simple. I think a lot of people don't understand that, to have success in life on planet Earth, all you have to do are just the actions. And most of the time, in order to get ahead of like 99% of people, let's say, you just have to do those actions consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just do those actions somewhat consistently, you'll probably still make 10 to 20K a month. Like you don't even have to be that good. You don't have to be perfect. So I think people just don't understand what's possible and they don't understand the leverage that online training gives you. Now, you have to be a good coach.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to put yourself out there and you have to be willing to commit to the process. And if you don't have those three things, then you know, this isn't going to work out for you. And if you're not willing to commit to the process, then nothing's going to work out for you.
It sounds like you're a little bit of a mindset coach too. Like you have to be to like coach your clients on mindset. Um, I'm big into psychology. I'm big into leadership and taking people on a vision and motivating them. So like when you get a client that comes in, how do you reframe what's up here to really get them to believe? Because a lot of it stems from limiting beliefs, just like psycho-cybernetics, that little voice in the back of your head.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if there's a hard and fast answer for that. At least I don't know it. In the sense of what we try and do, I think it all starts with awareness and finding the root of those beliefs and then trying to, pull that root out and then insert a new one. Right. And it's not an overnight fix. If we work with somebody for, let's say, 4 months,
Mm-hmm.
week one, oftentimes they are skeptical. They don't believe that this is actually true. And that when they've invested the money to work with us, I think a lot of the time they are fully prepared to lose it entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like an ongoing thing that we just have to continue to like chip away at it, chip away at it, chip away at it, chip away at it. And then when they start to see success,
Mm-hmm.
that is when they start to open up a little bit and think, okay, like maybe this guy is onto something. Like maybe what he's saying is actually true.
Right.
And once the door is cracked open a little bit, it's our job to kick it wide open and be like, hey, look at this entire world that's out
Right.
there. It is
Right.
so much bigger than you've ever imagined.
So the only issue with that though, because I'm just thinking it from my perspective, like when I set out to build my personal brand, I gave myself precisely a 0% chance of quitting from the stuff I read in the book, but also it's just like I quit stuff in the past and I'm like, I'm going to be a quitter the rest of my life if I don't fucking figure this out. So I wasn't going to quit. I didn't need hand holding, but a lot of people don't have that mindset. So I get it. You get a client, they come in, and you are waiting for them to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's that little bit of success that gives them hope. But until that time, you mentioned you're chipping away, you're essentially hand holding, and you just try to keep building them up and up and up. I'm just trying to figure it out, like as a leader, as a CEO, what does that process of hand holding look like to keep them bought in to this vision?
Sure. Yeah. I think, everybody has like a certain motivator, right? Everybody has a reason why. And if that reason why is big enough, then you won't need motivation. You won't need hand holding. You won't need us to push you, you know? And in terms of the hand holding process, I think we just have to constantly remind people like why they're actually doing this. Because when things get tough, it's very easy to talk yourself out of continuing to go down this difficult path.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Somewhere on the screen should direct you to somewhere else in our channel. But as always, believe foolishly.